All right, guys, today's learning strategy is called VARK Questionnaire. Once you get here, go ahead and open up the document, and it explains what VARK stands for. It is an acronym. It is basically the types of learning styles. V stands for visual, right here, or learning by seeing. A stands for oral, or learning by speaking and hearing. R stands for read and write, or learning by reading and writing. And K stands for kinesthetic, or learning by doing, acting, and real life examples. If you were to choose right now one of these, which one do you think helps you learn most? If I were to guess for myself, I would think that I probably learn best from learning to see by seeing, learning by seeing. So that would be visual. So for me, that's what my guess is. I want you guys to put here what you guys think you are. And then next, we're going to take a quiz to see actually what your learning style is. To do this, you're going to go here to this VARK Questionnaire website. When you access the VARK Questionnaire website, it will give you 16 questions. And on these 16 questions, you'll have to answer questions about how you feel or what you would want. It's all your opinion, what you think would help you the most. Now, the 16 questions are the same on everybody's questionnaire, but they're in different orders. So on mine that I just opened, the first question on mine is, I want to find out more about a tour that I am going on. I would talk with the person who planned the tour or others who are going on the tour. Look at details about the highlights and activities on the tour. Read about the tour on the itinerary. Use a map and see where the places are. So choose which one or ones, you can choose more than one, that you want. It's your choice. Choose what you think you would want if you were going on a tour. In my opinion, this is what I would want. I would want to talk to the person who had planned it, and I would like to look at the details and the highlights of the activities on the tour. Now, this might not be your first question. You might have a different first question. That's okay. These are all in different orders. So on yours, you're going to have to read through it. You're going to have to answer these one by one. And me too. I'm going to have to answer these one by one. So my next question is, I want to learn to do something new on a computer. I would, and here's my options: follow the diagrams in a book, read the written instructions that came with the program, start using it and learn by trial and error, or talk with people who know about the program. I feel like what I would do are start using it and learn by trial and error, or talk with people who know about the program. Now, I am going to continue taking this quiz. I'm going to pause this, and I want you guys to pause the video right now. And I want you to go in, answer this one question, if you haven't already, on what you think VARK, which one you think you are, if you're a visual learner, an oral learner, a read and write learner, or kinesthetic learner. So answer number one, and then finish this quiz. Once you finish the quiz, come back to the video. So go ahead and pause it right now. Okay, I just finished my VARK questionnaire, and the next thing I am going to do is press OK. Once I press OK, it will give me the results. And right here are my results. I scored a 6 in visual, a 9 in oral, a 5 in read and write, and a 10 in kinesthetic. So my highest score was kinesthetic right here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy it, and on my document where my assignment is, it says which learning preference had the highest score. Well, for me, it was kinesthetic, and I'm going to paste that in here. I got kinesthetic, and I got 10 points. Oops. Now, in the next step, it says open your strategy from the link below. So my strategy is kinesthetic. Now, if you had a tie between some of your answers, if you had a 10 on kinesthetic and a 10 on visual, choose whichever one you want, one or the other, your choice. Okay, so if you tied, choose your favorite. But I'm going to click on kinesthetic and I am going to follow the next instructions. So in the highlighted boxes, I'm going to copy and paste the bullets about how I intake information as a kinesthetic learner, how I learn, use this preference in my education, and how I can output it best. And we're going to take the information from the website, we're going to copy and paste it into these highlighted boxes. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to take that information and copy and paste first. Then I'm going to come back and answer the questions underneath. But first thing I need to do is highlight, copy and paste how I like to gain information or take in information. So let's press kinesthetic from the website here and find out what it says, a kinesthetic learner, how I intake information. Now, if you were a visual learner, your information is going to be different and you're going to take the bullet points that it gives you for taking in information. So here it says people with a kinesthetic preference prefer. So these are things that it tells me I prefer to do. Things that what I like to use my free time with. Now, then underneath this red, it says to take in information. I use all my senses. I read case studies. I use actions to help for understanding. But this is what it says, how I learn best. So here I'm going to copy these bullet points. I'm going to go back to my assignment. And right here, this was taking in information. So I am going to paste those bullet points right here. And I'm going to come back and read all of them more thoroughly later. Oh, there it is. I'm also going to make it a little smaller because it took up a lot of space on my paper. So I'm just going to change my font size to a little bit smaller so that it doesn't take up as much space. Now I'm going to go to the next one, and it says to present information to others. So how does a kinesthetic learner present to others? Now, remember, I'm kinesthetic. You might be oral, and your bullet points might be different. So here it says to present information to others. Here are the bullet points it says for a kinesthetic learner, how I present to others best. And here, I'm going to paste those bullet points. And I'm going to make it a little smaller again so it doesn't take up quite so much space. Now, you don't have to do that if you don't want to on your paper, but you can if you'd like. I just don't want it to take up so much space. And then I have one more area in education. What strategies help you study in school? And if I go back to the website, there's an area for in education. And underneath here, I want you to copy and paste this section onto that worksheet. And then we'll be done with the website. We just have to read our information and answer the last 3 questions. So we get to read these bullet points and then choose one from each section that we think would help us the most and tell me why as well. So I'm going to do one of these with you and show you what I expect. And then I'm going to expect you to do the others, do it all for your learning preference on your own. So for how I take in information, I'm going to read these. Use all your senses: sight, touch, taste, smell, hearing. It says to take in information, I use hands-on approaches. I read case studies. I watch videos, especially those that show real things. I look at exhibits, samples, photographs. I attend laboratory and practical sessions. I use surveys, field trips, and interviews. I use recipes and solutions to problems. I take notice of real-life examples and personal stories. I look for examples of principles. I learn by trial and error. I look for opportunities to apply what I have learned, and I use actions to help for my understanding. Well, as I read these, I think that this would probably help me most. Take notice of real life examples and personal stories. Take what I've done in my real life and my personal stories and maybe other people's real life and learn from those things. So here, what I use most, I would use real life examples and experiences, because, and I have to answer because I learn from my own mistakes and others to improve next time. Because hopefully if I make a mistake, hopefully next time I'm wanting to do it better. If I change my oil wrong on my car, I ruin something under the hood. Hopefully the next time I change my oil, I don't make the same mistake. I correct myself. So once you're finished with that, I want you to scroll down and answer the next one about which presenting strategy would help you the most. And lastly, which study strategy would help you the most, and answer why as well. When you're finished, click turn in. Thank you. Uh-oh, did I just lose my entire thing? Oh no, it's still videoing me. Good.